lot of older people put too much pressure on the younger generation to have their life figured out at such an early age. And I feel like that pressure doesn't take into consideration a lot of what goes through that young person's life on a daily basis. In April, I was in Nigeria to celebrate the wedding ceremony of my younger sister. There are 4 of us in the family. I've got an older brother who is married and has 2 kids, and I've got 2 sisters after myself, and the one after me was celebrating her wedding. So happy for her and the husband and the family as a whole. It was just nice to be in that space celebrating this union. But at the same time, there was a lot of questions that were being asked. I was there with my partner, my girlfriend, and some of the questions that kept on coming over and over and over from my uncles, my aunties, and the older people in my family is, what's going on with you? You're 33, you're gonna be 34 soon. Like, why don't you have things together? Why are you not married? Where's your kids? All that kind of stuff. Like, in a sense, why don't you have your life figured out? And yeah, it's just, those are the kind of questions. And for me, my response used to be, and still is, God's time, because that's a way to kind of like shush people away, especially those that are quite religious, shush them away and be like, in God's time. But yeah, it's just one of those realizations that people, especially the older generation, expect you to have things figured out at a very, very early years. They want you to have like settle down and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, that isn't my reality. Growing up, I've always wanted to like have a family, be married, have 4 kids, and have a big house, and just be living life in that sense. But over time, as I was growing up, time scales started to change. Things started to happen. I spent a bit longer at university. I graduated when I was 27, which in a sense, thinking about where I'm from, like in Nigeria, to be honest, by the age of 21, 22, should have graduated university already, be in a job, then potentially looking to get married and like be having your first kid and all that. So, but my time scale was a bit different. I finished university at 27. But then I was dating, but not that seriously, because I had more priority and more things that needed my focus, which was one, my education. So that was where my focus was on. But when I graduated, like my family, parents, my dad and mom were like, yeah, next thing you got to do is you got to get married and stuff like that. Not taking into consideration, like, you just finished university. I'm going into the real world of like work. This is a whole different ball game. The first thing I could get was an internship. And internships don't pay much, so that's another sort of like slow walking into life, because I mean, things cost, things happen, and for me, I mean, those were a lot of like pressure and like just unwanted pressure on myself, which caused a lot of stress, and in a sense maybe kind of question if like I'm inadequate, or like, I mean, why don't I have all this stuff that I wish I had at a very younger age and stuff like that. Like, why don't I have kids already? Why am I not married? All that kind of stuff. Is there something I'm doing wrong? But over time, it's just realizing that things move differently for people. And like in the past 5 years, for example, I've been made redundant twice, and that's like instability in life. And for me, I wanted to be in a position in life whereby I'm financially sustainable. If I'm in a relationship, I'm able to kind of like contribute to that relationship. When we look to get married, look to have kids, like things are in place so that I don't bring a family, I don't bring kids into an unstable environment. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be things that happen around the way. But for me, I want to make sure I have at least a nice, good foundation so that those things I want in life would not suffer. And that's just the way I see it. And all that pressure, these are stuff that I talk to my friends, I talk to people, and I mean, me and my girlfriend have that conversation as well. And I'm really happy, you know what I mean, like, that my life is moving the way it's moving. By stepping away from all those pressures means that there are other things that happen in my life that I'm very, very grateful for. So the pressure sometimes is sometimes needed so that you can kind of get things moving, but also can be detrimental. And you as a person, you have to ask yourself, what is best for you? What do you need to do? What time scale works better for you? You don't have to fit your life around other people and other people's time scale for you. You have to find what works for yourself and push through. But everyone finds what they want in life. Everyone finds what they want in life depending on whatever time. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep going. Live a life for yourself and not on other people's timing. But that's all I have to say. But you know what I mean? Someday, who knows, man? I might be on here talking about, yo, I just got married. I might come on here and be like, yo, I've got my first kid. But those are stuff that would happen, like I said, in God's time. Thank you for watching. Yeah, until the next video. Peace out.